Where do I start? So, the struggles of a business owner. Now, this is something that not many people online will probably mention or tell you, especially these gurus that you're probably seeing a lot of online. And I wanted to just tell you about some of my recent experiences over the past few weeks, so quite recent, about some struggles and difficulties that I've faced. And I wanted to share it with you all because I know that a lot of you probably relate to this. And if you haven't started a business yet and you're thinking about it, this is just something to be aware of and for you to plan for. So there's one main thing that I want to discuss in today's video, and that's client relationship. Now, whether you're starting, an agency, which is, probably the trend right now, or if you're starting another type of business, you're probably going to have to deal with a lot of clients, a client relationship. They're going to be pretty much the people that are going to pay you. They're going to be your customers. So a lot of people, I feel, don't mention the importance of client relationship. So many people will teach you, how to get clients, the best way to get clients, sell a course on how to do that as well. That's good and all. It's definitely very important because without clients, you don't have a business. But no one actually mentions the importance of maintaining that client relationship or the difficulties you may face in a client relationship ongoing when you actually are working for them on the journey, and how to keep things as professional as possible when difficulties may arise. So I want to tell you about some of the things that I've recently gone through and how I've, managed and navigated through them. And hopefully you guys can benefit from it as well. Now, it actually personally annoys me a little bit about how no one really talks about the client relationships, especially these online gurus. They always just mention about, you can get to 10K a month by doing this, and that, and getting 5 clients that pay you 2,000 a month each. But so many of them don't mention that can fluctuate very easily. It's not like when you hit 10K a month, that's it, you've done it and you don't have to do anything anymore. That's probably only the beginning, because it's about maintaining that, that revenue amount per month at a minimum, and obviously increasing and building on that month on month. That's the most important part. And client relationship is going to be the bread and butter of that. It's going to be the main foundation that you need to be aware of and actually get good at if you want to surpass 10K a month or 20K a month and continue building on that. You need to understand how you're going to navigate through client relationship, because I'm telling you right now, not every client you sign is going to be a good client that's going to be really excited to work with you and the best type of communicator and is always responsive. A lot of the times it's someone who may not be the best at communication, may not respond in time for you to get certain tasks done that you need to do for them to be able to provide the service at the level that you can. Now, there's 3 things that I feel like you need to be aware of within this client relationship. And you need to ask yourself when you're planning your business, your service that you want to provide, and how you're going to maintain, your client base long term. And the first one is essentially, what are you promising to them? When you're trying to sign a client, or you're having a sales call with them or a discovery call, and you're trying to obviously sell them on your services for them to join your business, you need to think about, and you can convey this to them, of course, but you need to think about it to yourself and think, what are you actually promising them long term in regards to how are they going to benefit from your service after 60 or 90 days? Because a lot of people only think of the short term. I'll sign them for a couple of months, get a few months of a service fee, and then I'll think about what is next later. But initially, you have to think about how are you actually going to promise them the value for them to want to stay long term, or how are you going to make sure you can continue to provide consistent results that they're able to say, okay, this is something that's worth sticking to with long term. So you don't just promise them, I'll run your ads for you, or I'll do your social media content for you. You need to give them a bigger picture of what they're actually going to get out of you doing that. So if you're running ads, tell them that you're able to help scale their business from this level to the level they actually want to get. So you're essentially the bridge between where they are and where they want to get to, and tell them how that's going to benefit their business overall. Not just, hey, I'll run your ads and hopefully we'll get some more sales, but tell them how running ads will then have a knock-on effect in a positive way to the next steps that they need to go through and take in their business journey to scale to where they want to. Same thing with social media content, for example. Don't just tell them, oh, I'll upload, stories and posts and photos and videos for you for your content, your overall content strategy. Tell them why that's important and how building a brand and having an inbound strategy for the business is very important, to have the longevity for them as well. So you have to emphasize on what you're actually promising them that can actually be looked at as a long-term goal. Because when you have that vision for them and when you're conveying that message over, you need to understand that they can then start to say, okay, I'm going to sign with this business, hopefully long-term, if they can get me the actual value that they've promised. Don't just say you're going to do the actual service you provide. Tell them how that's going to benefit them in the overall business landscape as well. And that pretty much leads me on to the next point, which is how can they continue to benefit from your service after the first few months? So a lot of the times, like I mentioned earlier, people will say, yep, it's a 90-day agreement, and then after that it's a month-to-month or whatever it is, however you want to structure your contract. But you need to give them a reason or something to see that they can benefit from this after your minimum contract period. Because if you just only emphasize the amount and the importance of 3-month contract and that's all the commitment is, they're gonna go in with that mindset of, okay, cool, I'll just try this out for a couple of months and then I can leave if I want to, or I don't really have to take this too seriously and things like that. So you need to kind of give them a reason to see benefit of how they can actually, stay with you long term. Because I'm telling you now, if you sign 3, 4, or 5 clients, within the same month, and you've promised them only one service, not given them the main benefit and value, and then you only, pushed that 90-day agreement, in 3 months' time, that's going to come and bite you back, and you're going to then obviously lose those 4 or 5 clients, and you're going to have to find a way to rebuild again and kind of build your client base up. Now, another thing you need to be aware of is what are you actually offering that will require your ongoing services for that particular business. So the example I was using before, if you're going to run ads or do social media, you need to find a way to, make them feel that they need you to do that particular service for them long term after, again, the minimum agreement that you signed them for. Because a lot of the times people will come and tell you, oh, we're going to take it in-house, or we are going to go with train one of our current existing employees to do what you do, and then essentially they're not going to have the need for you to be involved within their business structure. So you need to kind of find a way, and this is something that I'm doing currently as well, I'm trying to plan this out, is how am I going to structure my services where the clients are actually going to feel that, hey, I actually need Ibrahim long term because no one else can do the things that he's providing at such a high standard. So find a way and plan out how are you going to, give them results. That's the most important thing. So make sure you provide them with the results that you're capable of providing. And then also, how are you going to provide a service that's unique in a way? It doesn't have to be completely reinventing the wheel, but just unique in a way where you've included something maybe on top of your main service that isn't easy to just, take in-house and train a current existing employee. So that way they'll feel that, oh no, what you provide is actually of high value and we need this consistently every single month. And I guess another thing that annoys me about, the current online business space is everyone is always saying pick one service and one niche and offer that and only that. Now the niche part I agree with. I think that's definitely important to focus on a niche or a group of similar niches to focus on that your service can be of benefit for, because it allows you to cater the service and kind of target their pain points a bit better. However, the one service thing I think is changing very, very quickly. I don't think having only one service that you're providing to a business is enough anymore. I think there's too many, and this is again coming from an agency perspective. So you may have a different type of business that is a little bit different to what I'm mentioning. But for me, as someone who's trying to build an agency, one service is no longer enough. People aren't seeing the value of you saying, hey, I only run ads on one platform and that's all we will do for you. Yes, there are obviously certain times where that will work, and it has worked for me where I've only run Google Ads, for example, for the business, and that's all I've done. but I feel like to be able to provide the value that's intriguing enough for a business to want to work with you and stay with you long term, you need to have more than just one service. And it doesn't have to be complete opposite things. You can attach services onto your existing main one that can complement each other. So for example, for me, I'm currently planning on how I can do, running Google Ads for my clients, as well as building their landing pages. And even now I'm thinking about doing some funnel building for them because I'm understanding the importance of having that structure as well. So when I package that into a complete service of, we'll run your ads for you and we'll be able to provide and design the landing pages that they will go to after clicking on those ads, as well as building out a funnel strategy, that already sounds much more interesting than just saying, we'll do your ads for you. But if your landing page isn't good and up to standard, that's not my problem. You have to pick a few different services now that can complement each other for you to offer as a business. I don't think having one service anymore is enough. From what I've seen, I feel like I'm not able to convince prospects enough to, when I tell them, what I want to charge per month and also what I'm offering. So you need to kind of, like I said, think about what else can you attach to your main service? What can you provide to the businesses that can help solve their certain problem within that niche that they will find very beneficial, that you can, like I said, put alongside your existing service. So you don't have to scrap your idea completely, but find things that you can use and add to your offer that can complement each other, and you can start to then package it up into one more compelling offer. So these are the few pointers there that will help maintain that long-term client relationship, because like I said, not many speak about how you can actually maintain and keep clients long-term. All these gurus online are telling you, this is how you get, your first 5 clients, and this is how you make 10K per month. But no one actually talks about the struggle, and no one actually talks about how you need to, maintain the client relationship long term for, the livelihood of the business. This is how businesses will last long. This will differentiate businesses that actually last many years as opposed to ones that don't. And this is something that I actually started to realize recently as well. I'm sure you watch a lot of other online business owners or online gurus or whatever it is. How many of them, and this is again coming from an agency perspective, how many of them actually still run their agency? Almost none of them actually run their agency anymore and are talking to you about how to, succeed with an agency, but no one actually talks about the longevity of it. And you have to start asking yourself, there must be a reason. Is it because it's not something you can do long term? Everyone is kind of, moving into another direction. There has to be some reason. And I think for me, I just started to question that. So again, this is just me sharing my experiences. And like I said, I've had some struggles recently with some clients and, losing a couple of clients due to some of the reasons I've mentioned. So you have to strategize and plan how you can actually keep your clients longer than just a few months. So again, that's why I started to ask myself, and I started to realize that a lot of these people that I watch online as well, and I'm sure you do, don't actually mention the importance of this, because like I said, it's a very, very strong and important foundation you need to be aware of. And hopefully this video has helped you, just get you thinking about what you can do to improve your overall service, your structure, your client relationship, your communication with them as well. So hopefully that's got you thinking, and you can start to plan moving forward on how you can improve on that to overall, increase your business revenue and hopefully, become a bit more successful. So if you've stuck around to the end of the video, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Like I said, this is just me sharing my journey. The videos I'm making is literally everything that I'm currently going through. Whether it be talking about how I've had some successes, it's because I've recently done that. And if I tell you, like this video, how I've had some struggles and some failures, I also want to share that with you, because being a business owner is not easy. It's these days on social media, it's glamorized and everything. And don't get me wrong, it's amazing, and the benefits definitely outweigh the negatives. But you need to understand that there comes some struggles with it as well, and mentally as well, it's challenging. You need to be very disciplined. You need to be very committed. And I feel like not many people talk about some of those struggles. So again, I just want to share my journey, and hopefully you guys can relate to that, and hopefully that can benefit you in your journey as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.